Hello, everyone. This is John McDonald, aka Panabon, aka Zordon, and welcome to another episode of Becoming Mighty and Morphin, a Power Rangers tabletop game brought to you in the Alternia Archives, brought to you by Rem Alternus Productions, a family network of games. I never know how to say that or what I'm going to say until it comes out of my mouth. This is going to be a wonderful episode. We are on session 10, so there are two sessions left until the finale. So not this episode, but next episode is the penultimate episode, which is just a fun word to say. So Rangers, as we go around the table, I have you introduce yourself instead of doing your normal role upgrade, if you're going to do that. Alpha has been relatively busy. So anything that you are interested in upgrading, you're not going to get this week, but you'll get next week automatically. If you were struggling to get something upgraded, whatever your last upgrade was, that's what you'll get. So I'm just going to go down the list very quickly. And when you are introducing yourself, you can tell me yay or nay. I do still want you to roll me a d20 for introducing yourself for secret reasons that I will not tell you. So we're going to start with Andrew Bryant, aka Roadkill, who is on my left, who plays Quentin Turner. And I had you down for trying to get medium armor. Is that correct?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, so your medium armor will be ready next episode, which will give you a toughness bonus of +2. How are you doing tonight?
I think I'm doing pretty good. Just tried some, what is this? Bourbon ice cream,
Ooh.
which pretty decent.
All right. Let's see if you can get a decent roll.
All right. Just a flat D20.
Just a flat D20. You can roll conditioning if you want, because that gives you a flat D20 roll.
I got a 3.
You got a 3.
Yep.
I like how when you say it, you kind of sound like Charlie Brown in the Great Pumpkin special.
Mhm.
Like someone just put a rock in your bag.
Well, I mean, out of all the numbers between 1 and 20, and I don't even get higher than 5.
It's okay. That may be a gift. We'll find out.
Hey, if we were going by golf rules and going by lower numbers, yeah, sure. I might be able to do that.
If we were doing Monte Golf, you'd be doing well. Hello, Jane Russell. Welcome to the game. You mentioned to me that you would like to make your grappler even more fiery than before. So the next step up, as far as I can tell from the rules, goes from fire element to becoming blazing. And so you will have that next episode if you still wish to do that.
I do wish to do that, please.
All right. Fabulous. And how are you doing otherwise?
I am doing wonderfully. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm excited to play tonight, excited for this adventure and this journey with all of you. And I'd be excited to see what your D20 roll is.
A 15.
A 15. That might be good. Might be bad. Who knows? We'll see. Eddy Thatch, a.k.a. Patrick Bryant, a.k.a. Jester. Welcome to the game.
Hello.
Hello. You would like medium armor for Eddy, increasing your toughness bonus to +1 when morphed. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Anything else exciting you have going on? Anything Shadowrun related or anything Eddy has going on that excites you?
Nothing Shadowrun related in Jester's life. I've recently started playing Stellaris again, trying to poke around with that, and this isn't going to mean a whole lot to a lot of folks, but to those it does. Playing around with a necrophage aquatic civilization is rather fun. It's like the tunas that are aspiring to become the canned fish.
Anyone that is listening right now, you're listening to the Alternate Archives. I actually think if you go back in the archives, you actually have a Stellaris one-shot that happened.
Ooh, nice.
I don't know if that was because it has a near name and I've misinterpreted it, or if it actually was a one-shot.
Oh, okay.
But it's very possible that we have an example here, right? because the alternate archives is all about games that are not like quote unquote the big three. I don't know why I made air quotes. Only you guys can see it. So just envision for the audience out there that I made air quotes. Eddy, give me that D20 roll.
23.
23. High score, no whammies. All right. Cecily Adwell, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing just peachy. Absolutely.
Just...
great.
All right.
I'm headed out tomorrow, but that's going to be a weird time slip once people listen to this.
Yes. I actually like that time slip because people will be listening to this in the new year. Don't know exactly when we're starting yet, but most of these episodes will occur in 2023, which is
then they could probably come see me at Anime Magic or Anime Central next year.
Ooh, I mean, I kind of want to do that. But yes. So if I can have your D20 roll, along with confirming that you are working on medium armor, correct?
I am working on medium armor, and I rolled a 15.
You rolled a 15. Please re-roll that 15, Cecily.
It always happens to me. I always twin with someone.
Yeah.
I got an 11.
You got an 11. That is not a twin, which is going to be helpful. Twins would not work in this instance for no particular reason. Don't worry about it.
Well.
And then last but not least, Brick Kerrigan. Hello, welcome, Brick.
Hello, it's me, Brick Kerrigan, your fallen Pink Ranger.
Oh.
I know it's sad, but you know what? I'm excited to see where we come from this. You know what I mean?
It's true. I will say that you do not get your ice arrows because now your power coin doesn't work.
Right.
But that does not mean that all hope is lost because with all Ranger things, hope is never lost. If you'd like to give me that D20 roll, we can make sure hope is restored little by little.
And that's a 6.
That's a 6. That's okay. That is perfectly fine. All right. So before I explain what those D20s were for, I do want to give you an update on what happened because basically we're using real world time. So between last episode and Area 52, which is the name of the episode along with where you were, we've only time jumped a week, solidly, I will say. And you've been hearing a little bit from Zordon and Alpha, and thanks to your efforts, they were able to dismantle both a lot of physical and a lot of the virtual stuff. Whatever the military was doing, whenever you ask Zordon about it, especially, instead of being cryptic, he really just kind of changes the conversation directly. So if you have tried to get more information, you have been unsuccessful unless you have taken hacking classes. But then you're hacking into government servers. So who knows if that's a good idea? This isn't Shadowrun, so probably not the best idea. Zordon has actually also asked all of you to, well, it wasn't asked, you were kind of more ordered to take off as much time as you could. He says, especially that to Brick, while looking at you, Brick, and asks you to hold on to your communication device in case Alpha finds something in the Grid Lore library, and to remember to rely on friendship in times of great hardship. The past week has very thankfully been very quiet. Rita must have thought that earthquake was enough of a problem because she hasn't set anything to attack, which has been kind of nice. It's kind of bittersweet. Brick, after you were teleported home, you spent 3 days asleep. 3 solid days. You woke up at the point where your dad was on the phone with the team doctor to come examine you because they were getting worried, but they didn't want to take you to Angel Grove Hospital because the team doctor is better than the ones at Angel Grove Hospital. So a traveling home doctor is one of the benefits of athletic prowess. You still feel very run down, though. It's kind of like you're sleepwalking through life at the moment, but you are alive. And does leave you with a bit of a decision to make. And you can say what you want to do with this, or you can just have this information internally. Your coach is willing to hold your spot due to what the team doctor is calling, quote unquote, walking pneumonia. So you are given a pass for tryout. Your teammates are very understanding. You've been visited by Fenwick a few times. You've been visited by a JV. There's a JV pitcher who's gotten really friendly towards you called Merritt, who you've seen a couple times, but they're more of a track and field person, so it's kind of weird they're visiting you, but, it's nice. So you have the ability to take off time if you want. If you try to push yourself, you're not going to succeed, but you at least can take off time right up until the start of school. You could even take up more time off if you so like. It's at this point I'd like to open the floor for Brick, or for anyone that envisions that they visited Brick to talk about what that time was like over the past.
I'm gonna start with that if you don't mind.
Yeah, of course.
I think Brick is going to definitely take the time away from the baseball team that he has been granted. This week has been kind of really tough on him, both physically and also mentally. I think he feels a little sort of lost. Like deep down, he knows that he did what he had to do and it was the right thing. But he's also sort of felt that maybe in some roundabout way, he has maybe weakened his team a little bit without his presence. So he's felt a little bit off in his sort of daily routines. Obviously, he doesn't have the strength to be training or doing any of that stuff as well. So he's kind of just been sort of secluded, and his mind has just gotten a little darker the last week, I guess.
Also, you're seeing a lot of your mom. Like, your mom is, like, very present. Which, depending upon how much you like having your mom around, could feel very comforting for you.
Yeah, I think most sport children, I think a lot of their sort of motivation is sometimes derived from their father, mostly. But in Brick's case, I think his mom is more of the one that is the pusher, I would say. So I think with his mom being a little more around him, it's probably making him feel a little anxious because he doesn't want to disappoint her, and he is like, she's put a lot of effort into, making sure that he's been to practice on time and has taken his things seriously, you know what I mean? So, and has pushed him to do it, to be the sportsman that he is today. So, yeah, I think there's that.
Did anyone visit Brick? Has anyone visited Brick over the course of the week?
Jane has. Jane probably visited him more while he was sleeping because she's afraid to face him while he's awake. Not really afraid, but she feels really guilty, and she's not ready to face him face to face yet. But she would have visited him while he was asleep.
Eddy will visit him while he's awake. Not really going to say a whole lot. He doesn't really know kind of really what to say. But one thing that he did that he wanted to give him was he created a shadow box card that is stylized kind of like a baseball card, but instead it's a rather rudimentarily put together like Pink Ranger kind of thing. To anyone that's like not really in the know, it might just look like some random humanoid figure in kind of like pink pajamas. There's really not a whole lot of incredible detail or skill to it, but we just wanted to give that to Brick.
I know that Cecily would probably drop off like this like honey garlic concoction that She swears cures everything. It smells terrible and it looks really repulsive, but it's a family secret, and she will insist that he tries it.
I hope you can hide it from him. By the way, Brick, where did you put the drawing of the picture that Jane made?
Yeah, so that I was just about to say the picture that Jane made is kind of it's sort of curled right next to his bed. It's like located like I kind of envision him having a sort of like nightstand with like a little, drawer in it or something, and it's in there, and every time he's just been lying awake at night, he takes the picture out and looks at it, kind of holds it dear to him. So I think that's something that really helping him through this moment.
So I will let Cecily. You will not find this out. Brick, you might know this, but you can decide if you want to say something or not. The second Cecily leaves, that honey garlic thing that she made, your mom is like having 0% of it. Just to let you know, 0% of that goes anywhere near you, unless you do it while Cecily is physically present in the room, because your mom is like, I don't know what this is, but this is a hard.
I mean, as much as Brick likes Cecily and values the relationship, I think he probably took it and kind of did one of those really sideways smiles and said something along the lines of, wow, this is really great. I'll make sure to try some.
I'm not even going to make you roll deception for that, because that was terrible.
I'm a very bad liar, and I think Brick probably is as well. So,
one thing Cecily does not get is the third degree. Jane, you suffer kind of a different fate. Mom is a little suspicious of you as like either a groupie or a cheerleader, just like a girl around her baby boy. So I don't know how you handle third degrees from parents, especially I don't know if Brick, if your mom has seen the picture of the five of you that Jane drew, but just so you're aware, Jane did get the third degree from mom.
I imagine she handled it very awkwardly, like she does everything else.
But just so you're aware. But so, yeah, so we can kind of leave that hanging there. Does anyone else want to say anything before we head on to the next part of the adventure?
I think Quentin probably would have visited Brick at some point, and leading up to that, he probably would have tried to essentially write a bit of a song about what happened, and try to have the band do it and record it, and then give that to Brick. How good that song is, I have no idea.
I will let you know that no matter how good that song is, Brick's parents call you Smitty. Because you are a dead ringer for a field hockey player at Angel Grove High. So they think you are Smitty, the field hockey, whatever the center.
They keep
they keep calling you Smitty.
Nice.
However you feel about it.
I'll go with it. I don't need to correct them.
But Brick, you do have plenty of visitors, and not just Brick, but everyone. During the course of the week, you get your Angel Grove High senior year info packet, which is mailed to the address on file in the office, and this will have your class schedule plus a little personal extra in that mail call. This is what I had you roll the D20 for, and so we're going to go one by one, and I'm going to tell you, not your class schedule, but what else you got, because senior year is about a month away. The summer is fading fast. That is a blessing and a curse, depending on how you feel about school. We're going to start with Quentin, because you got that 3. Quentin, so you got your class schedule. You didn't really get extra mail. What you got is you got sat down by your parents one morning. They're not thrilled with the musician thing. They're not outright asking you if you're on any illicit substances, but they make some very pointed references to the Kiwanis Club or Rotary or Lions, which are all service organizations. Adopt a Highway, cat rescues. It's a very pointed conversation that they really want you to do either a club or they want you to get like a job to make some money for yourself. The phrase bad crowd is bandied about a little bit in that conversation. So
Gotcha.
You did get a letter from the Angel Grove High TV crew. They need a cameraman for mid-morning announcement because their cameraman is graduating, and I think the gym teacher might have mentioned that you had really great reflexes because they need someone that can handle a camera. So you do have kind of an out, but that's up to you how you handle that conversation.
I think I'll mention that I have something job-wise lined up and try to pursue the cameraman thing.
It is like an internship, so you don't get paid.
Right.
But when your parents utter the phrase cat rescue, your eyes do go outside to where there is a cat that lives on your fence post that they noticed by now. They have named the cat Sigmund, but since the cat does not come when anyone calls, no one's quite sure if that's the name they have. But they named the cat Sigmund.
Gotcha. I would probably tell them, I was like, I kind of like the name Diego. That's what I've been calling him.
Much like your parents were very focused intently on the don't do drugs,
right?
Don't fall in with bad crowd conversation. So it's very much like stick the landing of your senior year. So they do not hear you. They are going to continue to call the cat Sigmund. But you can call it Diego as much as.
All right.
So there you go. That was your exciting like Wednesday morning. By the way, this happened like someone took off of work to have this conversation with you. They were both at the table. It was very much that.
No, it was not a usual morning. That felt awkward.
Like your mom got up and like made a little bit of breakfast. It wasn't much. Like, it was very much like something's happening here.
Yeah, something's going on.
Yes.
They're breaking the news. I'm getting a younger sibling or something else.
It was a don't do drugs.
Right.
Please quit the band if you can thing. But they're also not going to stop you from it. But it's one of those like heavy suggestion parent things that they're doing. And the entire time you can't help but think about both the Halloween event and the question, are you happy?
Yeah.
So you're going to have that to do with in the senior year. Britt, you got a 6, so you're going to go next. This could be a golden opportunity this time off, because honestly, your path is pretty set. Your mom is fielding tons of calls from athletic coaches, leagues that specialize in scouting, scheduling workouts, school reps from pre-professional training companies, for the MLB, the minor league network in the part of the country you're in, even some colleges. A lot of them have mascots that are variations on Falcons and Eagles, a couple of Hawks thrown in, 1 or 2 Wildcats. But like, the walking pneumonia excuse is working at school, but you kind of like, this is like pressure to like make this your career. And you could, if you want.
Yeah, I don't know if he has if he has the answer right now. I think he's probably just continuing to go through the motions like he has for most of his teenage life. ever since like they had kind of his parents had discovered that he has a sort of athletic talent. So he's known what classes he's had to take for like the entirety of his high school career, and he just gets the paper and knows that he has to show up somewhere at some time, so he's just been he's definitely had a little more time to think about his future in that sort of sense, but also it's just been getting to the kind of overwhelming for him as well.
I don't know if you believe in signs, Rick, but while trying to do dishes, because you were trying to do something, you broke a plate that had your face on it as a little leaguer, because all of like your like plates your mom sent up to your room were like pictures of you in your like various like uniforms and little league and stuff like that. Yeah, you tried to do dishes and you actually broke one of those plates. I don't know if you believe in signs, but that's just something to think about.
Sounds, yeah.
I also want you to roll me an alertness.
Sure.
A 6.
Sorry, yeah, I had to open my whatchamacallit.
Did you have any points in alertness? Oh, that's an 11. Okay, so you're not sure you actually saw this, but you like went to your room to like get a clean shirt after trying to work out or something like that, like trying to get some energy back and failing, even attempting yoga, which you absolutely hate or maybe like. And you're not sure that you heard this correctly or saw this correctly, but like you were pretty sure that you just like disappeared, like your reflection disappeared for half a second. It's like in the middle of a blink, so it could have been the blink, but you kind of disappear for half a second.
I like physically disappear?
Your reflection did, but once again you were blinking, so it could just be tired. It could just be the tired.
I'm kind of imagining, like, have you ever experienced, like, where maybe I'm the only one who's ever experienced this, but sometimes I swear I didn't blink, but, like, everything kind of, like, goes dark for a second, half a second. I don't know if anyone's ever experienced that, but I imagine it was probably something along those lines where he kind of walked past a mirror and didn't see himself for a second and was just like, what? You know what I mean? But then maybe just thought nothing of it because he has been so, drained and sort of lost.
Yeah. So Cecily's going to go next with an 11. Cecily, it started out pretty usual as a conversation with your folk because you're coming to mid-end of summer, time to start planning out kind of your next year for Ren fairs. You're at an age now where some places just want you. They don't want the whole family. You have a specific set of skills that make you really endearing. Some of these are pretty far away from Angel Grove, though. And so you would be out of school, out of the city for an extended period, not just over a weekend. It's like a week of travel altogether. And you'd make pretty good money. And it's almost enough to consider if you really want a college degree or not, because you kind of make a living off of it. Like, it's not, the first couple years are hard, but it's not doable. It's just the question of if you really do need to graduate high school, which wouldn't be a big conversation, except, you know how you always check the mail? Yeah, you missed something in the mailbox. It got stuck in the back. It is from Angel Grove University's English and Language Arts Department, and your father found it as a brochure. So after you have this conversation, kind of lightly starting to plan out the year, being aware of what you need to do, and the discussion of if you're going to go out of school or not, your dad kind of sits down the brochure on the kitchen table and then just kind of looks at you expectantly.
Well, that is an option. I guess I didn't think that far ahead.
Is this what your father? I'm not going to try to do the voice of your parents because you're the one that had made them real. So, but it's your father wants to know if this is what you want because this is a big change, and this is kind of a path that they can't go on with you because Renfair stuff is their life. This is a temporary house for them. They never intend to stay in Angel Grove, really. Yeah.
But for the first time, I really have found community. And I think I'm gonna go, well, I mean, even if I go to school, like, who's to say I can't do some summer shows, you know? I figure there's opportunities, and they have study abroad programs, and I mean, I could just gain a little extra know-how and knowledge before I take the circuit by storm.
I want you to give me a performance. Unless you want to do truth or deception, but performance feels like performance is the right way.
Let's do performance.
It's performance or persuasion, so it's really up to you, and I think both of those.
No, my performance is way better.
Okay, but it's up to you. Because this could be diplomacy, flattery, or this could be you. Okay, that's a 10. Yeah, your dad's your dad. And you know how when your parents, like, raise their eyebrow at you while you're telling them something?
Uh-huh.
And you both kind of know it could be the truth or it could be something really different. Your dad is supportive of you, but this decision will define a good portion of the next 2 or 3 years for you. So he just wants to make sure you go into it with both eyes open. Obviously, he doesn't know you're a ranger and that probably has some bearing on it. But it's one of those things where you're just, family hasn't set down roots for a long time. Do you think your parents are capable of setting down roots in Angel Grove?
I'm actually not sure, you know? Like, I think her family, her, like, grandparents live in, like, Florida. And, like, that has always kind of felt like home base in a way, you know? Because it's, like, the place that they live at, and it's the place that we would go for, like, you know, yearly things or family problems and stuff like that. So this still does feel like it's, like, this kind of summer camp, kind of temporary vibe where it just doesn't really feel very solid. But for the first time, she really wanted to kind of transform into that, like, familiarity that you don't really get unless you really kind of take a moment to situate yourself. And she knows that she needs to for obvious reasons, but it's just a completely different feeling, and she doesn't know if her parents can understand that because, like, obviously she has something that, like, it's keeping Cecily here. Like, I'm here because I need to be, but also because I want to be.
Yep. And so that was a fun morning for you. It started out with the chickens, and it's getting, by the time the conversation is done, you're so drained, you have to go to kind of, so there's this lady that lives at the end of your block, the end of your cul-de-sac called Carlotta, and she is a beekeeper by profession. At the end of the conversation, you end up amongst Carlotta's bees because they're friendly with you, because you're that kind of So that's just kind of the way your day went. Just so-
I love these. Nice and snug. They're snuggly with wings.
Carlotta's one of those really cool old people. That's all I will say about Carlotta. Jane, you're next. So, Jane, your name, because of your background and your family, has been in a few different, we'll call them databases, since before the beginning of your freshman year of high school, really. Have you taken the ASVAB yet?
She would have probably taken practice ones, but she probably would have waited until her senior year to take the actual test.
Yeah, they want you to take that test like yesterday. Military recruiters are contacting you even before. Every single branch. You're also getting letters from people in the Peace Corps. A couple of international organizations like UNICEF and Doctors Without Borders have been sending you mail, but you can't tell if they want you to donate or work for them. So that's something you have to figure out. And in amongst all of this, the other Jane that you met during the test episode has sent you an invitation as well to a graduating class film show at Angel Grove Film and Arts Institute. It's kind of like her crowd sort of thing. Is on the same night as a Peace Corps and military recruitment seminar, where it's one of those quote-unquote last chance deals. So it really feels some pressure is definitely hanging out for you.
I really want to go to the film or something.
Okay. This is a decision you make on your own, by the way. Like, it's just such a deluge of mail. The other people in your house have just they just have like a little basket for Jane, and then the mail just goes in. So you're actually making this decision alone at the kitchen table over breakfast. You can talk with other people in your house if you want to, but this was a decision you had to make on your own.
I know what they would want me to do. So I'm choosing not to go to them and talk to them because they're going to tell me that the recruitment thing is more important. But I have that 2-year scholarship to the school that I really want to go to. I have my friends here. It's not what I want to do, and I'm working on getting over the guilt and focusing on what's best for me and not what's best for other people around me, like what they want for me. So I am going to decide to not do that and go to the film instead.
Also, Jane, I want you to know, because you have the military background, so you're the only one that really understands this. There is one morning about 2 a.m. where there's some weird random military test procedure that happens over not everybody's phone. So people in the military would they would see a test message and know this means something. And you can't help but think that they know what we've done and they're watching even closer now. Who is they?
I just kind of keep that information to myself for now.
Not terrifying at all.
Not at all.
All right, and finally, last but not least, Eddy, Thatch.
Hello.
Yes, so you get your senior year schedule. They had some trouble putting you into classes, so you are actually going to be taking a metal shop class with a new instructor that they have hired, Mr. Kruger. And you can't seem to find any information about him if you want to, but I don't know how you feel about shop class, but you're going to be taking shop class in senior year, which is kind of the class they send kids to when they have trouble figuring out what classes they want to put them in. So you have that. But you also get some information that you can decide what you want to do with. You get something from the Sleight of Hand Symposium. This is an Angel Grove kind of niche group of people that do like magic and card tricks. The kind of people that get together and watch like one of the Ocean's 11 movies or like Now You See Me, and they kind of like either rip it to pieces or like really love it unironically. They are in league with a stand-up comedy guild as well, so this is like a guild thing. You have been invited to a secretive little soiree for all ages, and it seems very prestigious. It has like a gold embroidered edge to like the invitation, with a little swatch of like it's called wish paper, where you can like light it on fire to like make it go up in flames and disappear like it never existed. The kind of thing that cool magic organizations revel in. The second thing is an invitation from the school librarian, who in Angel Grove High is also the debate and drama instructor, Mrs. Paymore. You've been kind of selected based on some like random debate that your teacher liked. You've been selected to attend the first meeting and the invitational planning committee for the Angel Grove Debate Society, which is a work-study extracurricular, if you so wish to pursue it. Yeah, but you can't do both, because either the secret organization or the debate society will take up an equal amount of time. So you can't do both.
I'm gonna go with the secret society thing. That intrigues me quite a bit.
Just as they so wish. Speaking of being intrigued, no matter how you're feeling, at the end of summer in Angel Grove, there is something to get your spirits up. It is the Angel Grove Food and Arts Fair, and it happens at the Angel Grove Concourse, and it is big enough that special parking lots are set up that you have to drive to and then get like on a tram to like go to. Parking lot attendants do get free admission to one day of the festival, the day they don't work. And for all of you people that need to make some extra cash for back-to-school shopping, this is a great way to basically recoup that in a weekend, unless you spend it all at the fair. Some of you might actually be performing at the fair. There are jazz bands, swing bands, dance troupes. They do have a Renaissance component. It's not a Ren fair, but there are places for like demos of like blacksmithing and things like that. People like selling crafts in some areas. The arts and the food and arts fair is officially called the Taste of Angel Grove, but no one calls it that. It's the food and arts fair. So any food that you want that you can think of is going to be present, including Ernie's Juice Bar, that has a little corner booth where they're going to set up a whole bunch of blenders. So I need everyone to give me an alertness roll, and then you can all make plans, because this is something that everybody likes to do. Everyone give me that alertness roll, please.
Eddie Thatch has a 14.
Jane has a 12.
Jane has
Cecily
12.
got a. Oh, I got a 15.
Quentin got a 21.
Quentin got a 21. Brick, what did you get?
Rick got a 5.
Brick got a 5. That happens sometimes. Okay, it's the Food and Arts Fair this weekend. You all want to go together? You want to meet up there? Are some of you working either at the fair or in the parking lot? How would you all like to get to the Food and Arts Festival, aka the Taste of Angel Grove?
I think Quentin would probably take one of the days working the lot, depending on if the band is involved in anything at the fair or not.
They're not really an indie garage.
Right, yeah.
So you were likely going to have to get a parking lot job if you wanted to get in. because otherwise,
Right. Yeah. There's no way I'm gonna afford a ticket.
Yeah, but you get like $200 for a day of work
Yeah.
because it's that much work. Like it's the whole thing.
Yeah. So yeah, that'll definitely be one of the things Quentin's doing. Yeah. And then depending what day we all can try to get together to actually enjoy the fair, try to coordinate that as well.
All right. Anybody else?
I don't know. I think you said this was this is an expensive event to get tickets to?
Not for you.
Oh, okay.
It's for a lower income family because it's not like Costco. There aren't any free samples. So you're paying the $15 to get in, but then you're inside of a fairground and you're not playing Woodstock 99 prices by any measure, but like 3 tacos are going to be like $10. So like
Right.
for lower income family, you have to like figure out if it's something you even want to walk around in the hot sun because the concourse isn't covered. So like it's a whole thought process you have to go through. But for your family, it's like, oh yeah, we have like a 3-day weekend pass. Fine, go do it. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not even a question.
Cool. All right. Yeah. Brick knows he has to go, but he hasn't really been making a lot of plans. So I think someone would have to sort of like include him for him to feel like he is ready to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm going, for the purposes of this, to make that call for a specific reason. Jane, you're actually going to be the one that approaches Britt. You are at their house. Mom makes the pithy comment, and in your awkward moment, you really lead into it, and you invite Brick to come with you to a day at the Student Arts Festival. And his mother. Did you ever see Sword in the Stone, the Disney film?
Long time ago.
Yeah, so Mad Madam's Men eyes, like when they kind of vibrate, like it's like that. But Jane, you are parking at the fair, and Brick gets out of the car. You get out of the car. As you're coming around, you are kind of like, you're not tracking Brick, but you're like going around so you can walk in together. Brick disappears for half a second. You're not sure you saw it. Like, you're not like, but you're like, your brain is like, wait, but he's right there.
Has anything? No, never mind. Let's just go inside. And she just kind of brushes it off that like maybe she was blinking and didn't really see it.
Yeah, sure. Let's go inside. Sorry about my mom, by the way. I know she's been kind of being a mom recently, and I think she's just a little worried about me after, my whole incident.
Yeah,
My walking pneumonia, he says with air quotes.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. I understand. She's feeling a little overprotective. You were out of it for a couple of days. Are you okay though?
I'm doing all right. I'm. It's just. I guess it's just like a transitionary period. You know what I mean? I'm just kind of trying to figure it all out. It's just been. It's been kind of crazy, but.
Yeah, give me a persuasion roll on that, Brick.
Okay, sure. Persuasion. What? Okay, there we go. Phew. And I don't have any.
Great. This is
I don't have any.
What do you roll?
don't have anything in persuasion, so we'll see what this.
Oh well, you rolled good.
19.
19.
Wow.
You know what? It's peppy, Jane. Like it doesn't like it's not sorrowful. So like, even if it's a lie, maybe it's Rick is trucking through. You know.
I'm glad that you're feeling okay, I guess.
Yeah.
I just want to say I'm sorry again. I know it doesn't really.
Jane, you really don't have to apologize. I made that decision based on the fact that, I mean, like, I felt like if any of us were gonna have to sacrifice ourselves, I just knew it couldn't be you, and I didn't want it to be you, and I know the team needs you as our pretty much leader. So like you're invaluable to the team. So I couldn't let you make that decision, and I knew you were going to. So, but we don't have to talk about it anymore. But I did want to say that thanks for reaching out and asking me to come here with you. It felt nice. I know I've been kind of like sort of distant from everyone since that happened, but it's just, just getting used to it,
Yeah, I understand. But I mean, you're still one of us, and we're still all friends, and we're not gonna let you pull away from us. So you're gonna have fun with me today, and that's just the end of it.
All right. I think Brick is gonna do sort of like a playful sort of like push, because that's kind of what sports people do with each other, but
Doesn't even do anything. Like, yeah.
Can I dramatically like he actually pushed me over, like pretend that I.
You can do anything you want, but as you were entering the fairground, you were entering, I'm going to charitably call this the opera section of the park. And everything is kind of like wreathed in, there's this like wonderful gold sheen because people are selling like horned Viking helmets. And like there's people on a stage. There's stages everywhere. There's like, you're going to go 50 feet and hit another stage or something. So this is like the opera society. Eddy, you are either someone gave you some money, somebody had an extra ticket, you are somehow here. And you were hanging out in the opera section, either lost or you're really enjoying the opera performance. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and you see Jane and Britt.
Oh, hi, guys.
Hey.
oh, what's going on, Eddy?
Not much. I've been okay. How are you guys doing? Got to see you out and about, bud.
Yeah, I'm getting back to it. I'm gonna have to probably start training again for baseball, even though they told me that I have kind of a free summer, like free some little bit of free time. So, but it feels weird when I'm not, being myself and not on the field.
I don't know. I don't really know, I suppose, but I don't really have to understand.
Cool.
So Eddy, the stand that you were at is particularly as a lover of buying things that are artistic. The stand that you're at has like some of the most pitch perfect, like Cecily would love this. Like you're kind of like wanting to send a picture to Cecily because these are amazing reproductions. It's not even like your area of expertise and you just know. And it's kind of at the moment when you're like turning to like show off a hat that, okay, well, Rick's there, but like maybe it's just out of the corner of your eye. Rick disappeared for half a second. It's kind of weird. But it could have been just out of the corner of your eye.
Hey, Brick, you got a moment?
Yeah, man, what's going on?
I really hope this is just in my head or something, but are you like flipping?
You saw that too? I thought I saw that earlier, but I thought maybe I was going crazy.
Blipping?
Well, yeah, that's the best I could think of at short notice.
It's like you're blinking out and blinking back in.
Like, you guys gotta simplify this for me. I'm lost here.
1 second you're here, the next second you're gone, and then a second later you're back.
Reminds me a little bit like a Halloween party,
Oh,
and that was
yeah, that's weird. Like, I kind of like the other day I was walking past this mirror in my house, and I could have sworn I like didn't see myself for a second. Oh, man, you know, part of me thought not having my powers anymore was gonna stop like all this weird stuff from happening, but looks like that's not the case. Maybe we should.
Hey, good news, buddy. At least things are still going to be weird as crap for you.
I told you you're still one of us.
Yeah, I guess I'm not getting out of it that easy, huh? Maybe we should. Maybe we should contact Zordon?
Yeah, but before we do that, which one of these do you think Cecily would like the most?
Cecily, you heard your name as you're walking. You just got done with like a half hour. I'm going to call it a botany shift. But basically, you were helping someone try to sell soap that couldn't swear. So you got like you're free for the day. But you spent like 3 hours talking with people about homemade soap. So like anything that's not soap is a good time for you right now.
Yeah, I imagine she's kind of like in a semi Ren Fair-y outfit too, like kind of tucked in, trying to give the vibe of like somebody who's selling fancy handmade soap. But she smells really good.
Yeah, and you come across 3 out of 4 of your friends hanging out by the Horned Helmet of all places.
Did I hear my name, or am I just hoping that I heard my name?
Oh, perfect. You'll know what Cecily likes. Taking a look at what was at this booth here. It looks pretty cool.
Huh. I mean, I do know what I like most of the time, unless I don't. And she just like laughs.
Eddy laughs with you.
There is, by the way, just to give everyone an idea, the upper section is at like a carnival style kind of cross section. There's lots of like keys and things that cross section. So you're actually near like a bunch of photo booths and caricature artists as well, kind of on the other side. So if you'd like to see how the helmet looks after purchase, there are plenty of options.
Maybe
So what are you up to? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, maybe I'd be like looking at towards like kind of some interesting, quirky art.
There's plenty of that.
Zordon, you mentioned there's like hats or something over here as well?
There are so many types of hats.
So,
particularly, you're looking at horned helmets in bronze, wood, and for the discerning person of buying power silver, but they seem like they'd be really hot.
yeah.
So yeah, there's hats, but really the caricature artists look more fun than the horned helmets because like that's like an interactive art thing.
Wait. I go over to the character artist and I ask, can you do you do groups?
The caricature artist has the coolest, like, curly-ended mustache you have ever seen. You can like smell the pomade even over Cecily's soap, and the guy's like, I can do anything. Like it's $10 a person. Like, how many people you got, man? Like I think I'd probably draw the line at like 80.
before we do this, has anybody seen Quentin? We need to get him in on this too.
Yeah, we should definitely find Quentin before we.
You can't get a caricature without him. That would be so sad.
Oh, wait, also. Yeah, so I'm gonna pay the guy. I'm gonna put down $50. Actually, I'm gonna put down $60 because I got a request. I rummage around in one of my pockets and I pull out this little, like, Johnny Five action figure, little robot, and then next to that is basically like a little fish tank thing. It's like I would like these in there too.
It's not the weirdest request that the guy has ever made. There's a wedding party, and there was like a s'more incident, and he's not going to talk about it now, but he's like not even phased. Quentin, there is an entire section of the Taste of Angel Grove food that is hot dog themed. All the worst are there, all of the broths, things dipped in beer, things dipped in onions, things in Chicago style, things done with lots of ketchup, things that are actually brownies, but they're calling them brownie sausages. Like, this is like the hot dog corridor.
All right.
I don't know who's going to text Quentin, but you're like 3 hot dogs deep at this point because you get like a little discount for working.
Right.
As a parking lot attendant.
Yeah, he's going to try to get the most out of what he can of hot dog corridor. And he's going to try his best to not spend any more than half the money that he made at the fair. And
the corn dogs and lemonade are your best bet. Strawberry lemonade and a corn dog for $3.
That's not too bad.
Jane is going to vote that one of the other ones do it just because she's already had to awkwardly ask somebody to come with her.
Get your quota.
She's reached her limit.
Eddy just has his finger by his nose.
So Cecily or Brick will need to contact Quentin, otherwise they're just going to eat sausages.
Yeah, I think Brick. I think Brick. I think we all sort of collectively decided that we weren't going to do the thing without Quentin, so we started looking for him. And I think I noticed the smell of sausages and kind of got a
telltale sign that
burst of a random burst of energy that I had, like, that everyone is kind of shocked by since I've been so lethargic the last couple days. And I just kind of run up and I see him there, and I am like, oh, what is this place?
Hey, Brick. This is, I think it's called Hot Dog Alley Corridor, something like that. I can't quite remember now. I think
Brick
the
waves.
amount of hot dogs I've had are affecting my thinking.
Yeah. Sounds like where I want to be. Brick waves down a attendant and asks if they have like a sampler tray of multiple sausages from around the world.
You're going to want that. So here's the good and the bad. So yes, they have that. The bad is you have to go by the improv stage to get there. And that means you'll have people shouting at you for like names and places and basically heckling you into being an improv audience. So yes, but
You're saying in order for me to put hot dogs in my mouth, I have to play improv?
If you want a hot dogs from around the world experience, the penalty after you get a character is you have to go stand by the improv stage because it's on the other side. That's when you get into like the fancy hot dogs, like the more like quote unquote sausage type hot dog. What Quentin is having is a whole bunch of broth and stuff, but they're not the like upscale broth. This is more of a corn dog, hot dog on a stick, hot dog in a bun type of thing. There's a fine difference. And like
I went for the cheapest.
No one here is wearing lederhosen. Everyone on the other side of that stage is like doing full on Oktoberfest. Yeah. So like that's really the delineation here.
I mean, Rick, if you want to do the round the world hot dog thing, that sounds like a great idea to me, honestly.
It's $40, Quentin, just so you know, based on how much money you paid today.
All right, you want to Are you down?
I mean, I'd be down. I don't know how much money I could chip in towards it though.
Oh, don't worry about it, dude. And I wave over the person and I go, 2 tickets for hot dogs around the world, please.
Yeah, Quentin.
I'm gonna get the meat sweats after this.
Quentin, so it was a really good moment right there, right? Like,
yeah, that was nice.
Rick was back to their old self. Yeah, they disappear for like a second, and they come back. Rick, this time your vision goes blurry when you disappear and reappear. It's like a full 1 Mississippi, so it's not a blink.
Oh. Did you mean to do that just now?
Brick kind of is sort of rubbing his eyes with his fingers because his vision just went blurry. He's kind of discombobulated a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay? I don't know, man. I was just talking to the others, and they were telling me that I'm Flippy.
Flip?
I don't know.
That's what I'm going to title this episode, by the way, is Flippy. That wasn't the title, but that's what
Well, I mean,
I have done my job.
It seemed to me like you just had a whole, I don't know, magical Harry Potter moment there for like a whole second. I don't know, you just suddenly disappeared and then reappeared.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah, I don't know.
Unless you're getting extremely good at stealth for some reason, and you like somehow darted out of my vision and then back in the exact same spot. I don't know how that's possible.
I don't think I'm that talented.
As you say, I don't think I'm that talented. The improv troupe is off their stage. There's 5 of them, and they're walking through the crowd. And their kind of lead improv carnival barker is saying, "We're looking for a noun. Someone give us a noun." Did someone say Rita Repulsa? Give it up for Rita Repulsa, the true Empress of Earth. And they turn into putty. And 2 things will happen simultaneously. Because it is a fair, so you can decide if you were looking for Brick and moving toward, or if you're farther away. But 2 things are happening simultaneously. Everyone but Brick is going to roll initiative, and Brick, you are just going to flat out disappear. So those 2 things happen simultaneously. Quentin, as like the closest witness, what do you do before we roll initiative? What is the thing that you do?
Did we get any of the hot dogs yet? Like, do we have a
like 4 hot
plate
dogs.
of hot dog right now?
There is the attendant that was going to get you hot dogs just saw putties, so no one's going to get you the world-class smorgasbord of hot dogs like at the moment. There are concerns right now.
Right. So I don't have like a bunch of hot dogs that I suddenly need to find a spot to set down.
No, you are.
That would be my
hot
worry.
dog list player. You are between hot dogs.
Awesome. I would essentially look around for Brick once he goes, and then try to look around and see if I see any of the others here, and then look back at the putties and be like, great.
You can choose if you wish to pretend like a screaming audience person and run away until you find your friend. But you're not sure if Brick disappeared or if Brick just started hightailing.
Right.
So that's the quandary before you, as everybody rolls initiative except for Brick.
Right. Yeah, I'll probably try to blend in for the moment until I can get my bearings as far as whether or not any of the other rangers are around me and where the hell Brick went.
All right. So 1 thing at a time. Let's have everybody roll initiative no matter where you are. Except for Brick. Don't roll initiative, Brick. Not to other you too much, but don't roll initiative.
Should I roll initiative?
Do not roll initiative. How dare you?
I'm okay if you roll initiative, Brick.
I mean, you can. It just isn't going to do anything. It's just a roll. All right, Quentin, what did you get for initiative?
I got a 16.
Got a 16. Jane, what did you get for initiative?
I got an 11.
You got an 11. Eddy, what did you get?
Eddie Thatch got a 15 for initiative.
15. And Cecily, what did you get?
Mistress Cecily Adwell. Wow, I was trying to be funny and I just completely lost words. I got a 17.
You got a 17, and I'm going to roll for the putties that always move in a group. Fun fact, they move in a group because they get an edge doing group attacks. So one of the things that you can do as rangers is separate them to break that, because they have a power called Power in Numbers. It is a perk they have. But these lower level ones don't have. I just rolled them. What did they get? And they got a 16. So right now it's just the 5 putties. Everyone that is not Quentin, it's pretty easy to see some sort of chaos is happening because people are starting to run and scream in the way that people in Angel Grove run and scream. Quentin, give me a streetwise to see if you went running and screaming in the correct direction or if you are in the wrong aisle running and screaming.
I got a 9.
You got a 9. You are like an aisle up and kind of
Right.
over, like you made like a Z pattern,
Right.
which is not great for team cohesion. But also, you're not currently a ranger right now. You are currently Quentin. You also do have a cell phone.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have probably, if I have more with my turn, pull up my cell phone and try to message. Like, I'll probably try to do a group message with everybody and be like, where are you?
As you're running, you hear a buzz in the grass. Rick's cell phone got dropped somehow, and you definitely have Rick's cell phone now.
Oh, I'm definitely going to pick that up and talk to it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that is
not a good
one
sign.
thing. That's not a good sign at all. So what's going to happen is I need an alertness roll from any ranger currently on the field.
Oop. Ace Thatch got a 15.
6
Great.
for Quentin.
6 for Quentin.
I'm going to
Cecily
say
got a
7.
7 from Mistress Cecily Adwell. Jade, and you beat a 15.
I got a 10.
Got a 10. Okay, so Eddy, you're the only one that's going to see this. A moment before a giant Goldar arrived, there is an eclipse shadow across the sun. It's only for a moment, but definitely not something that should be happening either in the middle of the day or as the day is not an eclipse day. But there are bigger issues, such as the sunglass kiosk that the giant Goldar just broke. But more to the point, the panic crowds that are rushing out as you see the putties approaching. And you're not sure you heard Quentin, but it seems like Quentin is in the general area.
So that's pretty darn freaky. Okay, so the sun just did a brick blip, and now everyone is just running around and there's Goldar.
There you go. That's the name of your.
Goldar is very big, but moving very slowly. They are reveling in their size, but they are like getting smaller as they walk toward you. So by the time they get there, they will be their normal Goldar size. But there are putties, and there are people that are currently rushing around. So, yeah.
I'm going to focus on trying to help the people in whatever way I can. I'm thinking at the moment, any position to basically be able to either like secure an exit so people have a way out without hopefully trampling folk, or maybe there's someone that kind of like fell over, I can go assist up on their feet or something of that nature.
Luckily, they've got the walkways are pretty big, so no one's trampling. It is mild panic, but it's like Angel Grove mild panic, so it's people running away. But people are still running. I'm going to move to Cecily with your 17 in initiative. What are you doing, Cecily?
Is there anything at that one stand that is like a sword or anything like that?
They got shields next door, but nothing pointy.
Nothing pointy.
But the shields are wood. They are actual, honest to God, wood shields that are probably heavier than like anyone interested in them would be able to pick up, save for maybe you.
Well, I think I'm gonna try to grab one so I could at least like help. Like I want to protect. Nobody's made a move on us technically yet.
No, but you can hear them. Ooh,
I can hear. Ooh, yeah.
they're just like up the row. Like you can see them, but they're like you can't like throw the shield. It's not a Captain America thing, but you can see them. They're good.
I think I'm gonna try and use the shield to maybe do like a little bit of hand-to-hand combat, some stuff that I'm a little bit more familiar with. Unmorph, just because I'm, not gonna try to just morph in front of people if they could see me, and maybe use the shield, like, because it's like a pretty heavy shield, to like maybe thwack a putty.
They are not yet close enough to thwack. That would be range still at this point. And you'd likely hit a civilian doing that at this point.
Yeah, I don't want to hurt anybody. Can I run up towards them, but then like close enough that I can kind of gather the rest of my crew?
Yeah, you're not gonna get to them. You're gonna get close, but not close enough for hand to hand necessarily. So it's gonna be like right on that.
Okay, I'm gonna just lead the charge then.
You can totally lead the charge. Jane, Cecily is leading the charge into battle with a wood shield. They've just absconded with the wood shield, which is something you actually kind of love about. You kind of love that about Cecily. If
I do love that. That is something I have come to expect, that she is going to find something nearby to use as a fun weapon. I'm gonna be right behind, running.
All right. So in parlance of film script, we're going to cut to Britt, and we're going to come back to the fairground. Britt, you were standing in a fairground. You were smelling hot dogs. Things were good. You were starting to feel a little bit like your old self. Someone was bringing you a plate of international sausages, which, heck yes. But now you're standing at the start of a path. What lies before you was once a forest, kind of charitably, but now it's just kind of an empty shell of nature. The trees are twisted, the branches are gnarled and black, and there's a path before you. But you are definitely no longer in the fairground, and you're going to hazard a guess to say, not in Angel Grove anymore. I'm not even going to make you roll for that. It's pretty obvious that something has happened.
Yeah, I was gonna make the "I'm not in Angel Grove anymore" joke.
No, you totally can. I think you should.
Oh.
I think we can, if you'd like to go for it.
Sure. Okay. Brick looks around a little bit. Kind of takes a beat and takes a big sigh. Guess I'm not in Angel Grove anymore.
You are by yourself, so no one heard that, by the way. You are also now talking. Nothing wrong with that.
I figured I was by myself. I guess I'm going to sort of begrudgingly start walking the path, kind of being wary of my surroundings. I'm looking for any tall, spindly, spidery men creatures that have been known to mess with my psyche in the past.
It's not like you're still thinking about that time when that giant baboon spider creature had their fangs on your helmet or anything like that. That's not something that keeps you up at night at all.
No.
It's like dead little forest. You're just kind of walking through it on the path. It's not like yellow brick road or anything. It's just like a path in the dirt. There are tiny, hard fruits, but it's about the time you start to notice that there's not really. Well, there's no other way to put this. There's not really color in this world. Like your mind is telling you the fruits are like little green crab apples, but like your eyes are telling you like grayscale. It's like you're like colorblind.
Just for the sake of doing it, I think I still have my communicator. Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I guess I also I checked my pocket for my phone, perhaps, just to like, see if by some magical chance this mystical forest that I'm in has cell service.
Yeah,
your cell phone I notice it's not there. Oh, jeez.
What's going to be more disconcerting is when you check your wallet to open it, everything in it is either just a blank piece of paper or a blank plastic thing. Like you've been erased, and everything you were carrying was erased.
Ooh, kind of like Back to the Future. My picture's disappearing.
You don't have a picture of you in your wallet. You do have a picture of your parents. Your parents are there, but everything's in grayscale.
Okay, I'm gonna once again sort of just put my wallet away, and I'm gonna continue walking. And as I'm walking past the trees, I'm kind of like looking past them, and I'm saying, Toto, Dorothy, anyone out there?
There is no one. I don't know if you've ever been to a place where there was just silence. Like if you think about like Christmas Day morning, at like 5 a.m, there's like no cars on the road, no birds, no dogs, just like nothing but you and the sound of the own. Nothing is stirring. There is nothing here. You do crest a small hill. It was big enough that you couldn't see over it, but now you've crested the hill. There is a turn in the path, and there is like this kind of round, slightly tall, maybe 1.5 stories if you're generous, kind of cottage house. It has tinted windows so you can't see in, but there is a super cool frozen fountain in front of it.
A frozen fountain, you said?
Yeah, it's like this big fountain, but the water has frozen in the fountain.
Frozen as in like ice, or frozen as in like time stop?
Frozen as in Elsa has personally touched it, and now it's frozen. Yeah. So both
Gotcha.
things, actually, because like water, when it freezes, will stop and whatever. Yeah. It's kind of both things.
Okay. Cool.
Cool.
Great.
That was a nice pun. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I feel sort of like drawn to the fountain, so I'm gonna walk up to it.
Great. That's yes. Okay, so I need you to roll me persuasion. I like that you're making little tweaks.
14.
14. Yeah. So, Ice doesn't normally talk. And you realize the reason you're feeling called toward the fountain is because it's promising you warmth, which is a weird thing. And also, the voice kind of sounds like Tilda Swinton as Queen Jadis in Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, or Magician's Nephew, depending upon if you read the book over the movie. So that's disconcerting, but it's enough to snap you out of it. You do notice, I will give you this with your 14, the decor of the fountain are little dogs and there is a little Goldar statue, like at the top of it, where like an angel would be, if this was like in a target.
And I noticed that it's Goldar.
Well, it's Goldar Light. Like, if it's not Goldar, it's like Goldar's cousin that like cosplays as Goldar on the weekends.
Sure. I'm just wondering. I know that we haven't. We've like briefly met him, right? We haven't like really had much of a.
Yeah, but how many wolf people in golden armor have you like seen in your life?
Fair. Okay. So is the fountain talking to me?
In your head, like you're like it's like a Voldemort thing in the back of your brain, just lean in, just keep leaning in. Come on.
But it is like there are words. It's not just like
there are words.
vague.
It's not a suggestion, but yeah, if you had rolled much lower, you would just be doing it, and you would be
okay.
partially frozen.
So I'm kind of aware that this is definitely off, right? Okay.
Yeah. Off is a good word for it, yes.
I guess I'm going to look at this ice and sort of inspect it as it's trying to speak to me.
Give me a survival roll.
Sure.
Survival. For the specific environment. Yeah, you're getting cold. Like,
Okay.
Eat your potato park cold. It's not a fun cold.
Cool. I'm gonna kind of shiver a little bit and just be like, "So much for bringing me warmth. I knew I shouldn't have trusted you, ice sculpture, fountain. What am I doing here?"
It's literally just beckoning you for warmth. It doesn't have a second line of conversation.
Oh. I don't want to touch it. That seems stupid. I don't feel like he would do that.
You can do what you want. This is your Oz, Dorothy.
I'm going to. Is there anything else? Like, so am I at the end of this forest sort of trail, or is there more around it, or is this just like the center piece?
The trail led you to the house, and so anything beyond the house is unknown without going into center.
Oh, there's a house. I forgot about the house.
Yeah, there's like a cottage. It's like an above ground hobbit.
Okay, and the fountain is in front of it.
And the fountain, and then the angry death forest that you went through.
Right, and Goldar is at the top of the Goldar little statue thing. Is at the top of the fountain, or is it at the top, like on top of the hut?
At the top of the fountain, like a little angel baby of death.
Lovely. Okay, I'm gonna walk past the fountain, kind of sort of shivering it off. I'm like, my arms are around my, I'm doing that like classic shiver pose.
Yeah.
And I kind of walk up to the house and perhaps maybe like crouch and sort of peer through the window, see if I see anything.
The windows are blacked out, so you would have to open the door and enter in order to see.
Is there anything on the outside of the door that would give me any sort of clue in as to what it is, or
no?
I just have to jump in blindly.
You have to decide if you're going to jump in blindly. Everything is up to you.
It's like a hole in the ground, you said, right? So there's no. It's like a hobbit hole, so that it's not like
it's like an above ground hobbit hole. I don't know how to. It's like, so a cottage house is kind of like a Frank Lloyd Wright house, where it feels like it's part of the landscape rather than being like a building. And then
I'm mostly asking if I can like go around the house.
No, you cannot. It's a very like canyon-y type feeling. Like
okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Ice Pun too.
Yes, another one. Another definitely planned out ice pun. Okay. I guess I have. I am going to head to the door, and I'm gonna say to myself, I'm basically just gonna give myself another sigh, and I'm going to say, well, if being a ranger's taught me anything, I'm gonna have to just jump right into it. So let's see what this is all about. And I'm going to just kind of softly under my breath and just be like, I'm gonna knock on the door, I guess.
No one answers.
Okay, figured. Cool. No answer. Coolio. I'm going to grab the handle and slowly turn it. Trying to be as quiet as possible.
It's like a lever, like a thing where you have to like push it down with your thumb. There's no.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to grab the lever and slowly push down. I'm trying to be as like stealth as possible.
Great. I love that journey for you.
Cool.
Are you going to open the door, or is it just? Like
I'm slowly pushing the door open now that I have unlatched it.
Great, and we're going to find out what happens after.
On.
Actually, we actually are going to go back to the fairgrounds, where now it is just 4 teens with attitude, 5 putties, and a descending gold bar. And a GM ready to sneeze. Excuse me for a second. Okay, so Goldar, just so everyone aware, has taken over the opera stage and destroyed a band shell. Cecily, those band shells are very expensive, as you know. Actually, Quentin, you're beginning to learn how expensive things are, so you also know that band shell was very expensive. And, of course, Goldar being who he is, oh, with there 5 of you? What happened to your little friend? Because he knows who.
Cecily's gonna go. Just because we're down 1 doesn't mean that we can't absolutely take you down from gold to silver.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds vaguely like a threat. What are you going to do with that shield?
Probably more than you think I can. She's like trying to be witty.
Great. Give me a grapple, because there are 5 putties, and you are going to be first. So.
That's going to be in brawn?
In might.
Might. Oh, great. I love might. I got an 18.
18. That is a very solid sword. You send one of the putties through. And it's also your turn, because now we're at the start of combat, and you're up first. So.
Heck yeah. Well, are there still people around?
No, everyone. It's now the Wild West, and it's the 4 of you, 1 giant wolfman in golden armor, and 5 gray owl jellyfish sounding lobmen.
Well, I have a vision, and you can tell me if I can't do this. But I was like thinking I would like throw the shield at the putties and then like be like, blue unicorn power, and morph.
I will say those will have to be 2 separate actions. Because throwing, because you have to like extend your hand with your Morphin stuff in order to morph. Yeah. So you can throw the shield as if you wish to do, but then you will just morph at the top of the next round.
Okay, I'll do that. I think I could like do some like lawn dart bowling with the shield. So
Throw the shield with one hand. Use your other hand to grab your morpher.
Are you tossing the shield like a frisbee, using the shield like you would for like bocce ball? I'm just trying to get a vision.
I'm going to toss a frisbee, like a very heavy frisbee at a bunch of putties.
Heavy frisbee. I'm going to say that is propelled ballistic, so give me a target.
Targeting.
This is stuff they don't teach you in GM 101.
It's called, what kind of crazy thing am I going to make Cecily do?
Propelled ballistic. It's at
well,
11.
I want to use my story point because I really want this to happen.
Okay, you can use story point. You don't get to do it again though. So if it's less than 11, like mine was on Sunday, then. But you can totally do it again.
We're gonna give it a shot. Here we go.
15.
15.
That is going to be higher. You are going to take out 2 putties. You like connect with their like jaws.
Nice.
And Goldar stops and goes, "Is that the best you've got, Rangers? That's a putty. They don't mean anything." And the putties don't respond because. And the putties actually go next. Jane, I want you to give me a might to see if you are grappled.
Right. I got an 11.
You've got an 11. What is your toughness?
14.
14. You are not grappled because you're you. That's essentially how that works. And it is the end of Putty's turns because these are not the high level putties that can intimidate. These are lower level. So Quentin, you're going to be next.
All right. Seeing Jane and Cecily there now, I see Eddy there as well.
Yes, you found your friend in
Yeah.
the midst of things. You slid past this stand that was unethically selling goldfish in bowls. A really hot day, and so like you actually have an opportunity to like slide some of the goldfish like into a cooler of water as you're passing by, so they don't like die from heat.
Right.
Because you're a good person, but it's also your turn.
After saving the goldfish there, I think I'm going to try to assist Cecily in dealing with those putties. If I can, as sounds like she's trying to fend off multiple at the moment.
There's 3 of them left. You heard about her doing the thing where she took the heart out of the putty chest. Now you've seen her use a wooden shield to decapitate a couple of putties. So there you go.
Wow.
It's always surprising because like you think they're people, but then they're actually clay inside.
Right, yeah. It's a little weird still.
Yeah.
Still trying to get used to it.
Never get used to it.
Do I see anything kind of on my way over that I might be able to use?
You are still holding corn dog sticks, but the person was too cheap to get the actual sticks, so you're actually holding 2 very long chopsticks. Which you're glad for now, and we're kind of about to look at them, but you're holding 2 giant chopsticks essentially, with like pointy ends.
All right, then I'm gonna try to stick one of the putties with 2 chopsticks. I kind of jump on them like that, and take them to the ground if I can.
All right, if you're trying to take them to the ground, give me a brawn roll.
Awesome. So a D20 roll.
Yes, if you don't have any points in brawn, it is a D20
Yep,
roll.
just a straight up D20 roll.
Do you have any good puns for as you're trying to take the putty to the ground with your giant chopstick pointy thing?
Off the top of my head, no. But
Okay. How did that brawn roll? How did that prawn roll go?
Prawn roll, yeah.
That's after all the hot dogs.
8.
That's an 8. Yeah, funny thing about hot dog sticks, they are not very friendly combat devices. They break in half and do no damage. But now the putties know you're there. So there's that.
Hey, I accomplished something.
You accomplished something for sure. Eddy, what would you like to do? You aren't.
So we already had at least one member of the team power morph. Yeah.
No one has morphed. Cecily through the shield so she can.
Oh, that's right. So Cecily had to remanage the action economy. So with that, I'm going to shout out to Goldar. Hey, you! You here to periodically disappoint Rita again? And then pull out my coin and black Mastodon power if I have the action economy to do so.
Yeah, you can do that. You're not trying to throw any giant sword. So yeah.
Pat, did you just make a chemistry pun?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
AU.
AU periodically.
And then
yeah, I got
periodically
it.
will disappoint Rita.
Yep,
As in,
yep.
It's all on the table.
I will say, I mean, after you've morphed, you can still do something. Goldar is not at range for anything other than ranged attacks, but you could technically still do something.
I'll summon the power X to my hand and close the distance to what capacity I can.
Great. On the next one, you'll be able to throw that axe, just like moving that button. Jane. Yes, it is Jane's turn. Jane.
I would like to morph. Red Ranger T-Rex power morph.
Could I have that with just a touch bit more enthusiasm for the commercial?
Sorry, I was thinking about what I wanted to do next when I was doing it. Yeah, she's gonna call out Red T-Rex power morph. And how many putties do I have? I want to try to get to Goldar is my goal.
There's only one putty between you and Goldar because now they're very aware of Quentin. So.
Okay. So I morphed. Can I run at the putty and kind of like try to like swing my grappler down to like trip it as I'm running? Or do I have to wait until next turn?
You can totally do that. Give me an acrobatic for that. That sounds like an acrobatic.
Ooh, okay. So a D20.
I like that you're all taking chances.
Can I use a story point and reroll that? Because
if you haven't used a story point this scene, then you can always use a story. Also, bear in mind, some of you may have perks that give you either more story points or more things you can do to reroll. So never forget that. But story points are kind of an answer.
First, I rolled a 5, and then I got a 6.
Hey, so you know what they got on the other side of the hot dog?
What's that?
S'mores. You know what is stuck in the grass that you step in so you like slip a little bit past your goal?
Did I slip in marshmallow?
You stepped in soggy marshmallow, but like it's like muddy marshmallow now, so like it was just bad footing. But that's okay. Sometimes that happens.
That's how we get ants.
That's how you get ants. But you're on the concourse. They shouldn't have ants, but they get ants anyway. Back to the top of the round. Cecily, it is your turn.
All right. Well, now that I've decapitated some putties, I do want to morph. So I'm going to strike a pose. I imagine red, wavy hair just billowing in whatever breeze we can conjure up. And blue unicorn power.
Great. Goldar, now seeing more Fire Rangers, does the Goldar laugh. That very cocky Goldar laugh that I could not recreate, though I tried many times this morning in the mirror. So just pretend you're hearing Goldar's husky B. Arthur-esque laugh.
You're doing a lot of laughing.
Like to do?
No, well, Cecily's gonna go. You're doing a lot of laughing for somebody who hasn't done anything.
Yeah. So Goldar withdraws a sword. This sword has the same reach that Jane's Mancatcher has. Just so you're aware of that. You don't know that yet. That's for free. But just so you're aware of that fact, there is now a sword. Goldar is not yet doing anything. But just so you're aware that now Goldar has you on their radar. So what would you like to do?
Well,
taunting is a free action. I'm gonna give you taunting.
Cecily's very spicy today, and I think she's gonna get her power sword at the ready. Like,
what kind of little sword is
basically
that?
ready to defend? Like, she's like, oh, that looks nice.
Yeah, Goldar is going to start moving forward. There's no advantage attack in this game for anyone thinking about the attack advantage thing in like D&D or something. So there's none of that. But Goldar is on the move now. They just move very slowly for emphasis. Okay, so the putties are going to attack Quentin. They are going to go after you, and they get an edge because they've decided to go for. There you are. And they are going to use martial art to try to knock you to the ground. What is your toughness? Quentin, what is your toughness?
It is a 13.
They got a 19. Quentin, you have just been
course.
dogpiled by 3 putties. So that definitely happened. How unfortunate. But it is your turn. Please give me a might roll to see if you can grapple your way out of this scenario in which you find me.
The answer is likely no.
I mean, you never know. Anything could happen. I didn't expect that 19.
Yeah. I am a small guy.
Or
4. Does a 4...
that does not help you. You would need to beat an 11.
Oh.
So that does not help you.
I figured I got 1 for every putty that just jumped on me, so I thought that would work. But
yeah.
I guess I should try hard.
It happens. Eddy, so I don't know what you want to do, but Goldar is moving towards Cecily, and Quentin just got dogpiled by like 3 buddies. Yeah.
I'm going to mutter to myself, make a clever pun and still get ignored. And then I'm going to charge up and attack Goldar with the old axie.
Great. Okay. Give me whatever your... probably a might, I'm guessing, because it's probably a blunt weapon, isn't it? Like,
Oh, yes. Yes, it's a might town with this one.
yeah. So Goldar's toughness is 21. You need to get 21 or higher.
I'll go figure. I would be fighting the uphill battle in this one.
Just like Katie.
Yeah, I was just about to say, you're running up that hill.
It's
I'm just being covered in flesh.
Specialist, I don't think, other than...
it's a little disconcerting to be covered in.
Yeah.
nothing else.
But your skin's gonna be so nice.
Oh, yeah.
afterward.
I only
My
got a
complection's
15,
gonna be amazing.
so no dice.
Only got a 15, so no dice. Unfortunately, yeah.
As I ineffectually hit him with a hammer, I'm just gonna be like, "Hey, did you not even understand the joke? I mean, AU, gold, periodic, like it's a chemistry thing."
I thought Black Rangers were supposed to be funny.
Quentin's gonna try to yell from under the dog piles, like, I got it!
No one's going to hear you, Quentin. No one can hear you beneath the putties. This is what happens when Brick blinks out of existence.
Right.
Jane, a lot of things
Could
are
say
happening.
he's our
all
rock.
at once. What would you like to do?
It's my turn already?
Yeah, it's your turn already. No, Eddy. Eddy went. Eddy failed, and so now it's your turn.
Yeah, way to revisit that one again. Thank you.
Sorry.
By the way, Eddy, you didn't do something. I just...
Look, when you go against them with a toughness of 21, you take your chances.
Okay, so I am in muddy, melty marshmallow at the moment.
Not permanently, you just slipped a little bit. It was just enough to over calculate your run there.
Okay. How far is the dog pile and how far is Goldar?
The dog pile is farther. You do still have incredible reach. So if you want to hit the putties, it's up to you. Goldar is beady-eyed on Cecily at the moment.
Okay. So Cecily and
Eddy.
name. Thank you. Sorry, I don't know why names are hard. They're dealing with Goldar, correct?
Feeling is a strong word, but yeah, they are currently confronting Goldar. That is accurate word that I would.
Okay, then I'm gonna kind of shift and I'm gonna go to the dog pile.
Do you just want to use your weapon from where it is, or do you want to run over it?
I want, if I can, I'd like to, and I'm probably gonna roll really badly, so Quentin, I'm really, really sorry.
That's a great way to preface it, by the way. I want to let you know.
I want to swing it, and I want to try to knock putties off of him with it, if I can.
Yeah, that's just going to be a might roll.
Okay.
These are not high armored putties. So.
I'm so sorry, Quentin, if I hit you on accident. I just want to make that known. Oh, I got a 23.
You got a 23. You send two of them flying off, and one kind of flips over like a turtle on its back. So good job. Quentin, you are prone, so you will have to take a turn to get up. But
All right.
also,
Can I use I'm too far away to use a bonus action or something to try to pull him up.
yes, you are
Okay.
too far away for that.
Sorry, Quentin.
It's okay.
All good. All good.
Also, I apologize. I feel like I was very sassy there a little bit ago.
Oh, no.
You're
No,
being
no.
silly.
I'm just glad you got them all off and make them sitting here with a strength of a 3 and I'm like, oh, this isn't going to happen.
I'm just glad I rolled good and did not hit you
Yeah.
instead.
Right.
All right. So while Goldar enters the battle, we are going to go back. I'm actually going to roll initiative 4. I actually haven't done that, and I was going by the seat of my pants. Goldar actually has a +6 in initiative. By the way, I just want to let you know. So, because that is something you can actually take. What did I do? I got a 21, so Goldar is a 21, so they will start the top next round. But we're going to go back to Brick. You have entered the cut. I assume you actually
My little
entered?
cabin in the woods.
Did you enter, or did you just stand at the doorway looking into the dark?
I creaked the door open. We cut. If we're being cinematic about this, when we last saw me, I was creaking open the door. So now I feel like it's a shot from inside of the cabin, looking at me in the doorway,
Okay.
silhouetted by the weirdness of outside. So I don't know if the inside is dark.
Well, I mean, it's not well lit. It's like a candlelight type situation, like an oil lamp type thing, very Sweeney Todd, but without the murder. There is a woman in gray having tea, sitting at a table having tea. And the longer you stand there, the more you kind of think you might recognize her. You've never actually, met her. Because in the episode where Quentin and Cecily met her, you had exchanged powers with Skull. And in the episode Eddy met her, that was in their dream. So you've really only heard about her, so this could or could not be her. But it is a woman in gray having tea, and she looks over at you and goes, "Oh, well, you weren't the one I was expecting. Poor thing. Come in for some tea, won't you?"
I don't really drink tea. Do you have anything else?
I have tea and bread. That's all we need.
Right. I guess creepy old women in the realms of the outbounds of reality don't really have senses of humor. I say that under my breath, by the way. I don't want her to hear me say that. I sort of lean over. I walk in and before I come any closer, you're not related to any Rita Repulsas, are you?
Oh, now. There's nothing I could do to you that would hurt you. Come sit, have some tea and bread. And she, taps on the table. If you've seen a picture of Rita, it's definitely, Rita, but Rita with, no color. Like Rita in grayscale, but it also isn't Rita. There's something about it that's off, and, in the way that Rita is angry and mean and sharp, there is something kind of youthful and twinkly about this.
Okay, is she still in her classic sort of horned hair wacko dress combo, or is she more subdued in this version of reality?
The hair has the hair is in a bun, so it's two buns that would become horns, and it's just a gray dress.
I guess I pull the chair out. Brick is going to pull the chair and turn it around and sit on it backwards.
And she will go,
So, if you are Rita and you're saying you're not going to hurt me, will you tell me what I'm doing here?
Did I say I was Rita?
No, but I'm not as dumb as I look.
But I'm not Rita. Well, it's a half-truth. But many things are half-truths. You're very well aware of half-truths, I would say. Funny, you weren't the one I thought would come. But you're here. So my condolences to you.
Who are you expecting, exactly?
Usually it's the red one. It's interesting to see things.
What do you want with Jane?
What does anyone want with the Red Ranger? Their power, of course. Silly boy.
Well, you're not going to get anywhere near her if I'm...
Oh, be still, be calm. I'm just a shadow of my former self. I couldn't do anything if I wanted to. And further, it's not me you need to worry about. It is Rita.
Okay. So am I am not, this is not Rita.
So
or do I not know that?
You have to ask the question, or you're going to have to use small time to get more. One of those two things has to happen. You have to converse or use your special origin powers to get information.
Well, I thought that maybe my no, okay. Okay, well then if you're not Rita, then who are you?
When I say I'm not Rita, both truth and a lie. I was part of Rita once. That was before the smoke came, of course. Now I'm here, just like you.
So you're not evil version of Rita?
Oh, good and evil. Such binary. Oh, you're such a sweet boy.
Okay, well,
Are you
Still haven't
sure you
really
don't
told
want
me.
some tea?
no, I'm not really that thirsty.
As you wish. You will be, though. Everyone here thirsts and hungers eventually, even if it's just to remember the sensation.
Sensation of what?
Hunger and thirst, being human. Didn't anyone explain to you where you were going?
You still haven't told me where I am.
Ah, child. This is what I was trying to warn you about. Warn all of you about. This is what
Warn us.
Zordon does. Poor thing. You don't even know. You're in a place called the Wandering Blight. The Wandering Blight is for those who have sacrificed themselves for others. When you blink out of existence, you end up here. And then you blink out of existence here. And the people that knew you have passed on. But you're young, so you'll probably last a good 80, 90 years maybe? Ah, very tough.
Did you sacrifice yourself?
Oh, well, I'm complicated. I'm born of magic. You're born of, oh, what did they call it there? We called it something else on Eltar. What did Zordon call it when he came across it? The morphing grid, I think he called it. You're born a little bit differently than me. I'm the parts of Rita that sacrificed herself when the smoke came. Stole all the children. So I live here.
You keep mentioning the smoke.
Hmm.
What's that?
Well, smoke was something that came upon Eltar unexpectedly, and it took all the young ones and it turned most of the old ones that had no connection with magic feral. It turned them kind of gray. The longer they inhaled the smoke, the more they became clay-like, I guess you could say. It was quite disturbing to watch. There was so little left of Eltar at the end of it that I assume the survivors didn't see any point. They must have left the planet by now. I mean, if you're here, you're not from Eltar.
No. So, but I know Zordon is. And
Zordon. I bet he fed you a story about glory and conquest. And no offense.
well, he sometimes says things that really don't make a lot of sense to me.
Yes, well, he was a scientist, so...
And it's not that I don't trust Zordon, it's just sometimes I just feel like he's hiding.
So I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him. Look at what he did to you. I bet you sacrificed, didn't you? You made this giant sacrifice for the world. You know what
I did
happened
it for
when
my
you
team.
Sweetie, now you're here.
I think Brick is starting to kind of take what she's been saying and starting to sit with him a little bit. And he's going to kind of look around the cottage. And
There are two doors. One door is open into a kitchen. It doesn't seem to have an exit anywhere. The other is a closed door with that same kind of iron handle that you grabbed when you entered. And her name is Ovestris, because that's the name we know her by. And Ovestris pours you a cup of tea and goes, "Here, just stay. It's simpler. If you go back, there'll be whatever happens. There's no guarantee you can even get back if you really want to."
how can I get back? Just get away?
Oh, there's probably a way. Probably somewhere in the library. I personally wouldn't have any desire to go back. Rita would destroy me in a minute. She doesn't want any good parts of herself, and I don't frankly blame her very much. So I'd rather stay here. Stay here, it's peaceful. There's no point in going back. What's there to go back to? War? Glory? He needs that. He's better. He doesn't hurt him.
Stops him, reaching it all the way.
Elvestris shrugs and goes, as you wish. But I warn you, your instincts are correct. Zordon hasn't told you everything. And there's no small chance that you may end up back here again if you connect at all. But if you wish to go, the answer is probably right through there. If you really do wish to go. Or try. You might fail.
Well, I mean, no offense, but your cottage doesn't really feel like the peak of comfort.
But we have plenty of space upstairs. There is a second floor. And she motions with her hand and like a staircase like appears. That was definitely not there. But it's not blocking anything. Just like, and now there's a second story because you said so.
There's nothing that would make you want to go back? Didn't you have friends on Eltar?
Child, I worked at a daycare. All the children I loved were taken by the smoke. And all the parents were turned into gray ghouls. What would there to be go back to? Rita wouldn't want me. Rita wouldn't want my memories. And I have no desire to talk to Zordon. I'll just stay here with my feet. Perhaps your foolhardy quest will have some merit. But perhaps in another 5 minutes you'll be back here with me again. Either way, something will happen.
So this whole flipping nonsense, or at least that's what my opinion is. This
You seek answers.
in and out of realities, or what
Your
is
spirit-
it permanent? I'm still kind of confused.
If your spirit has linked itself to the Morphin grid, a great sacrifice can cause this kind of thing to happen. It's not something everyone believes in. Most people think it's fool's gold who would sacrifice himself for the whole world. But there you have it. And here you are. There is nowhere else to blink to. You will not blink or blip or disappear to anywhere else. You will just be here. Here is safe, though.
You said my only chance of getting back is through that library.
That's the only chance that I can think of. I can't imagine going inside, though. What is there to go to? I've seen everything I need to see of the world. I say no thanks.
Rick's going to get up. You may have lost everything that you want. That you may have lost everything that would have made you want to go back to your world or dimension or wherever you came from. But I'm not ready for that yet. this is like any other day in that we've had in the last couple months of our lives. They're in trouble. And I need to help them. And if my answer is in that library, Lord knows I'm not really good with books, but
Oh,
figure
child.
something
So young. Easy to see why Zordon chose someone like you. You always did like someone with heft. I wish you, well, not the best, but I don't wish you failure. It's just something.
Thanks, I guess. Were you close with Zordon?
Oh, everyone on Elton knew Zordon. I would not call it close, but I would wager that if you mention my name enough times, perhaps you'd remember me as... Well, who am I kidding? I doubt he'd remember me.
I don't know. He seems to remember a lot of things.
Well, first see if you can find your way home, and if not, then we'll talk about it more over a cup of tea.
All right. And with that, Rick is going to head towards the library.
Yeah, so this library is an oval-shaped room, which is weird because books are square. And there are books, but not really. When you try to grab them, they don't grab. Almost like it's like a Hollywood flat, which if you're like a theater person, is like something that only exists to look like it is, like that it's not actually. But what there are in the room are a whole bunch of candles about 5 feet inset from the wall, and they're all gray. They're all gray candles.
Are all 5 of them lit, or is maybe one of them not?
There are actually 10 candles in the room. But none of them are lit.
None of them are.
They're just hanging out on like giant candelabra stands. Just hanging out.
She's still sitting in her little chair. She's following me.
She did not follow you, and the second you walked in, she waved her hand and closed the door behind you.
Can I check the door to see if it'll...
There's no handle.
Oh. I'm gonna scoff and say, figures. Okay. Library. Where do I start? Do any of the... Oh, right. The books, I can't grab them, right?
You cannot grab the book.
I guess I'm going to inspect the candles then. Do the candelabras have any sort of detail on them?
Besides the score from Phantom of the Opera? No, I'm just kidding. Give me... I wrote this down. Give me an alertness roll. Give me an alertness roll on the candle.
22.
22. The candles all have dots around them, kind of bore into the wax. And when you hold them a certain way, it kind of makes an animal shape. Although the one you're holding in your hand looks a little bit like a bear. If you kind of hold it sideways and squint. So.
Okay, I'm going to look around at the other candles then and see if I see... maybe one of them looks like one of our Zords or animals.
Give me animal hand.
Oh.
Under social. It's the social I never ask anyone to roll for until now. Animal hand.
Wow.
That's a 20.
That's a nat 20, baby.
That deserved a wow. That was actually really amazing. So I'm not going to make you go through the rest of this part of the puzzle because that 20 is incredible. It takes you about 3 more tries. You do start to notice a pattern, but eventually you do come to one that looks kind of like a bird, and when you pick it up, the whole room kind of lights up in pink color in the flame, and you realize that it wasn't a bookshelf, but actually it was like a door. So the light of the candle shows the cutout of the door, and you can just kind of push into the next room.
All right, looks like this is just the beginning, I guess. I'm gonna walk through the door with the candle in tow.
You walk into the biggest room you've ever seen with the most stuff you've ever seen in your entire life. This is like everyone at Angel Grove had a garage sale on the same day, and all this stuff went to the same place. There are some aisles that you can walk, but it's just stuff upon stuff upon stuff.
And just random stuff. It's not like there's no rhyme or reason to anything.
That you can tell as you are walking the aisles, trying to get your bearings in the middle of this vast room. You come across kind of a tiny little table. The table bears a card, and you're going to notice 5 little tables that are kind of maneuvering around it, and they're waiting for you to read the card on the table.
Okay. I think Brick has kind of realized that he's in some sort of another little universe test, so he's just gonna kind of go with the flow, I guess. And he's gonna look at the card.
That's a good idea. So the card reads, "The Wandering Blight is an easy place to lead if you follow your heart. But you may only follow your heart by knowing it. Place on these 5 pedestals that which makes you free, and if it is truly so, you will be granted your return from whence you came. If you cannot correctly place the object by the 3rd turn of your trial, you will be turned into an object yourself for another to find. Each time you wish to test your theory on the correctness of a set of 5 objects, aka a turn, you will exclaim that you are prepared using whatever the language of your heart is. This sacred space knows you and will only respond to what you say when it is your greatest truth and triumph. Good luck." And I'm going to let you think about that as we go back to the battle still happening in Roswell. With Goldar now having their beady eyes on Cecily and swinging their sword. Cecily, what is your toughness?
My toughness is... My cat apparently cares. My toughness is 14.
Okay. So Goldar wings, but they were a little cocky, or the sun was in their eyes, and they do miss you. But because you are a swordsman, you can hear the sharpness of this sword. That's not a fun sound at all.
No, it's not. But
Not a fun sound.
I like a challenge.
That's good, because you have one. Cecily, or not Cecily, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
No, it is your turn. Yes, Cecily, it is your turn.
I'd say it's a little sword fighting time.
It's some sword fighting time. How would you like to sword fight? Are you just going sword to sword? Are you parrying and whatnot?
I think I'm gonna parry a little bit and then try to like go for a slice.
Give me a deception roll.
Oh, I'd put a snag. Oops, I put the wrong thing. I roll one more time? That was seriously.
Yes, roll one more time without a snag. I feel like you will need all the help you can get.
Ah. It like auto-filled it, and like by the time I already clicked it, I was like, no!
This is Goldar's lowest skill. So you do need so you needed a 13 or higher. So
I got
so Blade is met with Blade, and there is a shimmer of blue spark in the air. Goldar is very, very muscular, and you can feel power in their arm. Yeah. So not great. Quentin, I'm going to let you go because you are both. There is a putty across from you that's prone, and you are prone. Would you like to get up?
Right now I know we have the pink rangers out, black and red out already as well.
No one is out. There is one putty left, and there is Goldar and Cecily.
Well, as far as like who's already morphed, I guess.
I think you're the only one not.
Yeah, that's what I was thought too. Yeah.
Okay. I had envisioned that you had morphed before you were tackled by the putty, so that makes that very intense.
Right, yeah. But still, I thought I was the only one that was like, wait a minute, I don't think I've done that yet. Okay. But I'm prone. I got a putty next to me that's prone as well. Right. So,
you could stand up, you could try for a ranged attack from where you are, but that comes with a snag.
right. I'm essentially probably... Is there any bystanders or onlookers that we know of right now?
No. You guys are all on your own. People have vacated the area in the way that only Angel Grove citizens can now do.
All right.
Quite impressive, actually.
I'm
about it.
Gonna try to move to my feet and try to morph if I'm able to.
Okay. You can move and morph, but you will not be able to do more.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I'll just try to pick myself up, get to my feet, and be like, all right, yellow kitty power. And
you've got like a half moon stance, like a karate stance going on, because like that's about as high as you got, but that's quote unquote standing.
Yeah. I try to make it look like I have a little bit of finesse to me, but
yeah. The putty does no such thing. They just kind of get to their feet is what they do. And that's both of your turns, essentially. Eddy, what would you like to do? Cecily is in a Darth Vader duel with Goldar. Cecily obviously being the Luke in this scenario. So Eddy, what would you like to do?
I am going to try to make use of the relatively recent feature on my weapon, see if I can't unsteady the ground underneath Goldar's feet.
I like this journey. So use the might, and the terrain has a toughness of it's just bare ground, so it's not too tough. So if you get like 10 or higher, you're gonna make grooves in the ground.
Sounds good.
If you were on the stage, it would be harder because that's a harder material. But the ground is just soft and gooey with marshmallow, as Jane found out.
Very sticky marshmallow.
I am going to use the story point on that one because I don't want to fail twice on this.
That's very fair.
Bright, cocky, enemy, bad guy, person face. Don't like him.
Goldar also doesn't like himself, so I understand.
Well, that got real fast. And I'm just destined to not do gosh darn diddly.
So you end up with marshmallow on the end of your. For some reason, I just feel like a run of people doing s'mores. It's like Woodstock with s'mores over here. You end up with s'more goo on the end of your very awesome axe, which
I take the time to start trying to rub it off and polish it off.
That only makes it worse.
Oh, wonderful. Now it's in my fingers.
Now it's in your fingers. It's everywhere. Jane, what would you like to do now that Quentin is bereft of putty?
Uh,
Thank you.
welcome. How many putties are still around? There's one on the ground, or one that just got up, right?
There is just one. There is one
just-
putty and one regular sized.
Okay. I want to hit the putty with my grappler.
Great. Give me that roll. This is not a high difficulty because it is a low order putty.
15?
That's great. You crash it into the wooden shield that Cecily threw, so it makes a very satisfying, like, thud, muddy sound, leaving all 4 teens with attitude currently on this plane of existence, and Goldar, and Brit. So, Brit, you have 5 pieces of things that are in this room. You realize as you look around, this is not just stuff. Like, envision a room where it has everything you've ever lost in it, and everything that you own, that have ever owned. Like, all of your former Social Security cards, all of the posters that your parents took down off your walls, because you were, like, in trouble, like, random keys. But there's a lot more here, too, that's not yours, that seems to belong to other people. So you've got 5 items that apparently you're supposed to mean something to you.
My truth.
Your truth, yeah.
I guess I'm gonna. So it's not all my stuff. There are also things that I don't recognize.
There are things you don't recognize, but other people have apparently been here before. There's the more you go, there's like a hall of like swords and axes, like a Valhalla type place. There's one room that's nothing but like the Haunted Mansion set from the Disney Channel, which is kind of weird. There's this room of nothing but jewels, and it's a lot of stuff. You do come across what looks like a magician room, which is kind of interesting. And there's some like toys in the area. There's like a Rubik's Cube. There's like a Walkman. It got very retro all of a sudden. And there's a set of pods that are sitting.
Brick is gonna kind of chuckle to himself. I'm gonna. So you said that there are things that look like things that I've lost
Yeah.
in my past.
Yeah, so like if you have like a signed baseball and you lost it Sandlot style, it's kind of gooey and it has like dog teeth in it. But like Sandlot baseballs are here, you know,
There's
kind
nothing in the room. There's nothing in like my part of the room that is, I would say, current.
I would say that's inaccurate. It's not an exact facsimile of your room, but there is like a sports memorabilia section, which is super cool. There's lots of baseball stuff. If you stare too long at any of the posters, it kind of starts to turn into family photos, which is weird. So you may not want to look there too long. But yeah, there's all kinds of stuff here.
I guess I'm gonna just kind of sort of follow. My gut, which is, I think I've kind of noticed that there are parts of this area that remind me of my fellow teammates, and I'm probably gonna take a look at those areas more closely. I was just wondering if maybe I don't know. This is like a small town roots thing, but I was wondering if maybe like there's a section of that looks maybe like vaguely kind of like my room with a bed and an end table and perhaps a portrait of me and my friends in it that I would want to place on a pedestal.
Word that it was that easy. Unfortunately, no. There is. You don't see the picture that Jane made, unfortunately, but you still do have the feeling about those pops. So,
yeah, I'm gonna, because I chuckled at them, I'm gonna pick those up just to kind of like hold on to them. Whether I realize that they're a part of the puzzle or not, or we will come to find out.
Eddy, what type of pogs do you favor? I think you said they were either like Elf pogs or Star Wars pogs. They were very retro, if I remember. I don't know if you said actually.
My memory wants to tell me that I made mention of like Elf.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So they are definitely Elf pogs. Of course, Brick can't hear you or talk to you, but just to let you know, for John, the player playing Brick, that they are Elf pogs. And I don't know if anybody else has Elf pogs except for Eddy Thatch, in a very loving way.
Yeah. Next, I am going to head over and see. You said there's like a room with like swords and like medieval things kind of hanging around.
Yeah, it's like a Valhalla Thor Midgardian cosplay area almost.
Anything long and pointy and maybe blue?
No, nothing blue. It's all bronze and wood and as looking around, the section afterward is an apothecary section. So there's lots of things there, like garlic bulbs and wildflowers and poultices and things of that.
Excuse me, just doing a quick little Google definition search for a word that I don't know.
A poultice is like when you take stuff to make
Like
a natural bandage. So like moss, and
Person
leaves
who
and stuff.
prepared
Oh,
and
right.
sold medicines.
Oh, apothecary.
Great. Noun, archaic.
Friar, the friar from Romeo and Juliet. He was an apothecary.
Thank you. I've made. I'm trying to think of something that Cecily. That would related to her, because that's what I was looking for, was like a sword or like a dagger or something.
Or like a wooden
That
shield.
doesn't- Yeah, something that.
For chicken?
Is there a chicken?
There are no chicken. What there is in the
Perhaps a sword with a chicken brandished along the hilt.
No,
A chicken sword, if you will.
no chicken swords, no rabbits, no holy hand grenades. What there is in the apothecary section there are several jars, but only one of them is filled with anything, and it smells like honey and garlic.
Ew.
Oh, that stuff that I didn't have. Yeah.
Right. But I do remember the smell.
It's true. It sticks with you in a good way or a bad way. depending
So
on how much you like garlic.
I think I'm gonna walk past it and then like not notice it at first, but then all of a sudden like the burning smell is gonna like light up my nostrils, and I'm gonna be like, oh duh, and I'm gonna grab that. And then I'm gonna make my way over to what I assume would be a musical section with perhaps instruments.
Yeah.
Sword.
Definitely. Lots of xylophones. There's like a forest of xylophones, which is very weird, and a little off-putting. There is nothing hot dog shaped here, unfortunately. Nothing hot dog shaped.
Oh. Maybe I'm looking for like a scroll or a parchment of some sort, or I'm imagining one of those, like, I don't know, a squire, like would have like one of those really long things that they would read off of, Hear ye, the king has commanded. You know what I mean?
There is many of that, but there is. This is weird. Well, many things here are weird, obviously. There is next to one of the keyboards. There is this kind of beat up looking backpack with a little black clip on the outside, and inside is a whole bunch of like junior year homework from Angel Grove High. You know why this backpack is significant? Because I'm just going to give this one. This might actually be.
Well, I think at the very beginning of all of this, we had that test. And if I remember correctly, Quentin was the only one who offered to tutor me.
Quentin was also the person that approached you when the deja vu started and walked to school with you. It was the two of you walking. Look, I'm sentimental. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's so cute. I think I'm gonna look at the backpack and sort of like tilt my head and just like I felt just now, a sort of like tingling in like my chest and stuff, and I just instinctually grab it because it makes the most sense to me.
I will say the outside thing that's flipped in yellow is not a dino buckler, but it does. There is a facsimile.
Is there a little kitten on it?
No, not giving you the kitten. I've already said too much.
All right. Well, I got 3 out of 5. So thinking next, I'm headed towards a room that is maybe a little more organized than the other ones.
No, none of these rooms are organized. They're not even rooms. They're like shelves of stuff.
Shelves of stuff.
This is the other part of Return to Oz. This is the room in Return to Oz that turns you into something. This is like the other half of the Wheeler episode.
In this, even though everything is gray, in this sort of vaguely reddish section, I feel like I'm in.
Vaguely reddish. So you kind of guessed what this is.
I think I've figured it out.
So I want you to think about something that has happened that's with you and Jane, and there's an item associated with that.
Right.
So you get to an area of that is part of the art supplies, quote unquote, but it's actually more like this like jar of pebbles, kind of like a mosaic area, broken up pieces of stuff, and it smells a little bit of the sea or a beach, perhaps. She did the drawing afterwards, but the beach party,
That's like the setting, or no?
it was like a setting. It was one of the first times that you were together. It was one of the first things that you've done outside of athletics, where it was just you hanging out with people and God knows how long.
I'm having trouble thinking of something that, other than like moments, I can't think of any. Like I'm trying to think of like. So is it like a jar of pebbles? Is that what you said?
Yeah, so they're not pebbles. It's like beach rock. I guess they are kind of pebbles, but like in Northern California, they don't have sand; they have rock.
Right.
So it's like that. It smells of the sea. It smells of the beach. Essentially.
Well, I'm going to pick up that jar. And my hands are getting kind of full, so I'm gonna head over to pedestals now.
Yeah, they're the little floating pedestals for you to put items on. They're
Can I inspect these pedestals? Do any of them have any sort of discerning marks that would make me
Nope.
go on? Can I just put them?
just willy-nilly. We're not fifth elementing it. It's a willy-nilly pedestal. There's just one that is blank and floating and waiting for a fifth element.
Well, now I gotta do my part of this thing, right? So I'm gonna go to the section that is the most familiar to me, quote unquote, and take a look around. And I see a lot of baseballs, and I see a lot of memorabilia, and I see a lot of letters and pictures of sports and things. But I'm guessing I perhaps see something that is not any of that.
No, you see sports stuff. What was the first ball game your parents ever took?
It was probably a local, like minor league team. And the Angel Grove. What would be I want to say the Angel Grove Alphas, but that's like too on the nose.
We'll leave it for now.
Perhaps I don't know, like I think my formative memories of the whole baseball thing is just like, like any sort of parent will do as they're trying to sort of like see what their child could possibly be into, is just sort of like, doing a little maybe game of catch or something. So maybe I see a glove or a mitt that is sort of
there is
reminiscent to me. I mean, that is what I based my weapon off of.
There is a specific catcher's mitt that your parents tossed, not because they weren't sentimental, but because you literally used it so much that you like split some off of it. It wasn't supposed to be used. It was supposed to really be decorative. But you used it long after it didn't fit you anymore. And it represents your relationship with your parents. All the good parts and all the bad, because you're teenagers, so they're not always great, but it reminds you of things that really matter to you. And it kind of smells like home a little bit, as much as something can. It smells like the grass in your yard. It smells like lemonade from summer days, and it smells. This is gonna sound crazy. It smells kind of like dandelions that your parents have an annual problem with and mutter about when they talk to their friends because grown-ups are really boring. and they get angry about things like dandelions.
And my dad hates
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. Really worn down. Put it on the step. Pray that this works.
Well, prayer is good, but you have to exclaim something auditorily. You can't just pray. You have to exclaim something from your heart.
Brick is gonna kind of look around at these floating pedestals. Think to him, mutter to himself, I guess this is where I have to click my heels 3 times. And I guess he's going to sorry, I'm trying to figure out the words I want to say.
Of course.
Okay. Let's rewind to before I put the glove down on the pedestal. I'm going to kind of look at it, and I'm going to say something along the lines of okay, hold on. I want something that's vaguely like there's no place like home, but more about teammates and things like that, because I think like that's kind of what I'm feeling at this moment. But I'm going to put the glove down, and I'm going to say, I want to be with my team. I need them. I need to be with my team.
And that poetic utterance from deep within you, which is honest and true, is enough. The middle of the room where we placed stuff erupts into a beam of gray lights, but it's a much brighter gray, which is a step in the right direction. You step into the beam of light, and several things happen at once. The first one is the room grows bright as the sun, although definitely more like a fall day. And you end up coming back to the fairground, literally right on top of Goldar. And like as you descend, Brick, you feel stronger and healthier than you did definitely 3 days ago. You are not in Pink Ranger garb, but you've definitely teleported in grayscale. You are your color. There is color in the world. You're not permanently colorblind or anything. And you teleport right on top of Goldar, which causes him to go off balance. And embarrassingly, he teleports away. And you have returned from the wandering light. And there are your friends as rangers. And you feel well, you're not a ranger, but you feel much more yourself than you were.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna kind of break down. I think like I feel very like I feel very powerful, but I think like the weight is kind of overwhelming. So I think I'm gonna kind of like fall to my knees and just kind of see everybody and just kind of just defeatedly and just like lower my head and just be like, man, am I glad to see you guys.
That is a wonderful thing. You don't have much time together. because unfortunately Angel Grove is also kind of used to monster attacks. They will be coming shortly. But you can all go off and have a private conversation and rest and recuperate. But the important thing is that Brick, by going through the Wandering Blight, you are not perfectly pink again, but you are at least full of energy and youth, and you don't feel on the edge of an Edgar Allan Poe story anymore. And we can start the next episode. Everyone will get what they're getting, including potentially Brick getting ice arrows if something happens that could be happening. And yeah, so we can start the episode with full talking with Brick if you'd also like. But I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Welcome back to The Wandering Blight, Brick, and thanks everyone. And I hope you have a more phenomenal week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.